You're standing in the middle of a high-end coffee shop in a bustling city center, watching the world drift by. To your left, a young man in his mid-20s is scrolling through his phone, wearing a hoodie that costs more than your monthly utility bill. His brand new luxury sedan parked illegally right outside. He radiates the aura of success, yet his anxiety is palpable as he checks his banking app, perpetually one missed paycheck away from a financial cliff. Across from him, a man in his 60s sits quietly in a faded navy t-shirt and worn-out jeans, sipping a simple black coffee. You wouldn't look twice at him. He doesn't drive a flashy car. He doesn't have a logo plastered across his chest, and he definitely isn't trying to impress anyone. But he owns the building you're standing in. This is the wealth paradox, a silent collision between the performance of wealth and the reality of financial independence, and you're caught right in the middle of this psychological trap. Your brain has been hardwired by modern society to equate visible consumption with status. You have been conditioned to believe that the clothes you wear, the car you drive, and the gadgets you display are the primary metrics of your worth. Every time you scroll through your social media feeds, you are bombarded with images of curated luxury that scream, "I have arrived." You feel the pressure to keep up to signal your success through tangible assets that depreciate the moment you take them home. This is the origin of your lifestyle creep, the invisible enemy that ensures that as your income rises, your freedom actually shrinks because your overhead grows in lockstep with your paycheck. Look deeper into your own habits and you will realize that your desire to look rich is actually the greatest barrier to becoming wealthy. When you purchase a luxury item to impress someone you don't even like, you are effectively trading your future autonomy for a fleeting moment of external validation. You're sacrificing your ability to invest in assets that produce cash flow, choosing instead to accumulate liabilities that drain your mental and financial reserves. You think you're buying a lifestyle, but in reality, you're buying a cage of your own making, where every status symbol is a bar keeping you from the true freedom of the wealthy. True wealth, the kind that survives market crashes and provides long-term security, is almost always invisible. It is built in the shadows, far away from the eyes of those who seek to judge your net worth by the brand of your watch. The people who have mastered the game of money understand that being rich and looking rich are two entirely different pursuits. They choose the path of stealth wealth because they value their time and their independence more than they value the fleeting approval of strangers. They understand that money is not just currency, it is a tool for buying back your freedom, and every dollar you spend on a status symbol is a dollar that isn't working for you in the market. Think about the psychological toll of maintaining that facade. When you base your identity on the brands you wear, you become a slave to your own image. You are constantly worried about the next trend, the next upgrade, and the next way to signal your superiority. This anxiety is a tax on your happiness. The person who has achieved true financial independence doesn't care if their shirt is generic or if their car is 5 years old. They have reached a point where their internal security is so robust that they no longer need the crutch of external markers to prove their value to the world. Consider the math of your choices. If you take the money you would spend on a luxury vehicle, a car that loses half its value in a few years, and instead invest that capital into income-producing assets, you are setting yourself up for a compounding effect that will change the trajectory of your life. While your peers are busy making payments on debt, you are building a portfolio that pays you. You are choosing the boring, quiet route of long-term wealth creation over the loud, explosive, and ultimately hollow route of consumption. This is the moment you must decide: do you want to look rich, or do you want to be free? This shift in mindset is not about deprivation, it is about prioritization. It is about understanding that every dollar has a job to do, and when you spend it on a luxury handbag or an overpriced dinner just to post a photo, you are firing that dollar from its duty. You are stripping it of its power to generate more capital for you. When you stop trying to signal wealth, you suddenly find yourself with a surplus of resources. You stop competing in a race that has no finish line, and you start playing a game that you can actually win. Your environment plays a massive role in this paradox. You are surrounded by advertisements designed to make you feel inadequate, unless you possess the latest, greatest, and most expensive version of everything. You are being sold the lie that consumption is the key to happiness. But look at the people you admire most, the ones who have achieved true success. Are they the ones showing off, or are they the ones who seem calm, collected, and entirely unbothered by what others think? The latter group has mastered the art of indifference, a superpower that allows them to ignore the noise and focus on what truly builds a legacy. Let's break down the mechanics of the stealth wealth approach. It starts with a radical audit of your life. Go through your bank statements and identify every transaction that was made to impress rather than to improve your life. That lease on the luxury car? That subscription to a club you don't use? Those clothes that still have the tags on them? These are the anchors dragging you down. When you cut these loose, you aren't just saving money, you are reclaiming your identity from the influence of consumers' culture. You are deciding that your life is for you, not for the audience you think you have. As you begin to shed these habits, you will notice a strange phenomenon. You will actually feel richer. Not because you have more stuff, but because you have more peace. The constant urge to upgrade, to keep up, and to maintain an image will fade, replaced by a sense of quiet confidence. You will start to see assets as your best friends and liabilities as your enemies. You will learn to love the feeling of watching your savings and investments grow rather than the temporary dopamine hit of a new purchase. This is the pragmatic solution for your future. First, automate your investments so that your wealth grows before you even have a chance to spend it. Second, define your own enough. Decide what level of comfort you actually need to live a happy life, and ignore everything beyond that point. Third, cultivate your internal worth. Find hobbies, skills, and relationships that provide fulfillment without a price tag. When you are genuinely fulfilled, you stop looking for satisfaction in the shopping mall. Remember, the most successful people in the world are often the ones you would never suspect. They are the investors, the entrepreneurs, and the savers who understand the power of compounding. They are the ones who put their money into businesses, real estate, and financial instruments, not into the pockets of luxury fashion houses. They are building a fortress of security that will last for decades, while their counterparts are building a house of cards that collapses at the first sign of economic turbulence. Your transition from a consumer to a builder starts today. It starts with the realization that every purchase is a vote for your future. Do you want to vote for a future where you are constantly chasing the approval of people who don't care about you? Or do you want to vote for a future where you have the power to walk away from any situation because you are financially secure? The choice is simple, but it is not easy. It requires a level of discipline that most people are unwilling to cultivate. But you are not most people. As you walk out of that coffee shop, look at the world differently. See the luxury cars not as symbols of success, but as symbols of misplaced priorities. See the plain, simple clothes as the uniform of those who have mastered their own finances. Embrace the anonymity of wealth. Find pride in the fact that your true net worth is something that only you and your balance sheet know. There is a profound, quiet power in knowing that you are building something real, something lasting, and something that belongs entirely to you. Finally, understand that this journey is a marathon, not a sprint. There will be times when the temptation to revert to your old ways will be strong, especially when you're surrounded by people who are still trapped in the cycle. But stay the course. Keep your eyes on the assets. Keep your focus on your independence. The wealth paradox is only a paradox if you stay trapped in the illusion. Once you see the truth, it becomes a simple equation. Save more, invest wisely, live intentionally, and let your wealth speak for itself in the only way that matters, by giving you the freedom to live life on your own terms.